We're ready? Yep. Clock? Okay. Okay, I'm going to start now. I now reconvene to the regular board meeting of the Board of Education at 7 o'clock p.m. with Blair, Fikes, Naw, and Cruz present. Ms. Orozco will be missing her first meeting in 10 years. Before we begin, please silence all electronic devices. Note that these proceedings are being recorded. Pat?
The board met in closed session from 5:45 p.m. to 6:52 p.m. regarding conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, public employee appointment, Director of Nutrition Services, elementary assistant principal, public employee discipline dismissal release, and public employee performance evaluation superintendent. The board voted to appoint Barbara Bearden as assistant principal at Country Springs Elementary effective August 19, 2016 by the following vote. Fikes, Hernandez Blair, Naw, and Cruz voting yes, Orozco absent, and voted to appoint Javier Quirate as Director of Nutrition Services effective August 19, 2016, with Fikes, Hernandez Blair, Naw, and Cruz voting yes, Orozco absent. No further action was taken which requires public disclosure.
Thank you. Mr. Willis will be doing the flag.
Please stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're now at recognitions. It's always a good feeling to celebrate achievements of any kind, whether academically, professionally, or personally, too. Tonight we celebrate some pretty phenomenal students' achievements. Miss Diana Marilla, can you join me at the podium? I'll go. Miss Marilla, can you please talk a little about the hard work your students did to bring them where they are today?
Can I have my kids join me?
Yes.
So some of my kids are already off for college and have left and maybe in other states. But these are some of our Calc BC students at Chino High School. I'm very proud to be a part of the journey that we were on. I kept reminding them all year it's really about grit and it wasn't necessarily about calculus, and that when those challenges came, if they just buckled down and persevered, even if they made mistakes and failed, I knew they would find great results. When the results came out in July and we had a 100% pass rate, it so surpassed what I would ever have dreamt teaching it for the first time. They knew we were kind of in it together. I did one time when we were together on the weekend say, wouldn't it be amazing, our first time together teaching Calc BC and learning BC, wouldn't it be great, first time out, we hit a home run and get a 100% pass rate, and they did. I would love it if a couple of the students would say something.
I just wanted to say that Ms. Murillo was one of the best teachers I had. She not only gave us skills in the classroom and outside of the classroom, but she taught us morals and how to live. And I can speak for most of us when I say, even though we joked about it, we always said that we'd always want to skip the next period and stay in her class for another period. Wow. And it was because she made calculus fun. It was fun to be in her class, and just the learning environment was great.
Wow.
I do also want to say that, historically, Chino kind of gets a bad rap as the ghetto school. And I think having Chino High be the first school to do this is a really amazing thing. And coming from Chino High, I'm really grateful to have been there. I know I'm a better student, a better citizen, a better person because of going to Chino High and because of teachers like Miss Murillo who've inspired me. And yeah, it's been really awesome having her as a teacher. So yeah, I'm really proud of us. So thank you guys for honoring us.
like to say also thank you to Miss Murillo because I haven't had a teacher like her who is so committed in and out of the classroom. She also, like Marco said, taught us about life lessons that will carry on with us through college and through life. And she put in a lot of time outside of school on weekends and everything to get to where we are, so we couldn't have done this without her. Thank you.
That is awesome. Knowing the fact that when you guys are fathers and mothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, they're going to remember you. And you're going to be very special with their life.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
May I make a comment?
Oh, yes,
for a
of
minute?
course. Yes.
You know, 12 years ago, when I was principal at Chino High School, Diane Murillo was my math teacher then. I hope I'm not dating you, Diane. Okay, with age. But what made her phenomenal was that the first day of every school year, she says to her kids, because it's math, look, don't think you're going to fail my class, because it's not going to happen, okay? Whether I have to be here after school, during the week, on the weekends, I will be here. But failure is not an option for you. She is the best math teacher I saw in 20 years as a principal in 2 districts. Nobody even came close, from what I observed. And I'd like to recognize her husband who retired from Chino High School, Joe Murillo. Joe, thanks for being here. We love you, Diane.
You know, just to say, it's about relationships. That's the key for us teachers or anybody else. You build relationships, you build healthy people. Wonderful job. On behalf of the school district, I have 3 chocolates. Your inspiration and wonderful job. Great job.
Can I say something? Am I on? Am I on? I just wanted to add, when we got these results, I sent Mr. Joseph a message and said, this is the stuff movies are made of. And we've all seen Stand and Deliver, and, sorry. I was just so proud of you, and so proud of Chino High. And it's not just that they all passed, it's that she had so many scores of 5. Just a phenomenal number, a phenomenal performance by students and teachers, and we just can't say enough about how grateful we are for all your efforts. That's it.
Yeah. Also, I would like to make a comment. I know many of these students, and I've seen you on campuses, and I couldn't believe, especially you said, that you'd rather stay in her class than you would skip another class to be in her class. That's an amazing thing to say. But thank you. I think you're a role model teacher for our school district, and I hope that this journey will continue on, because you are truly the blessing for our school district. And look at our students, and they're going to grow up just like you. So thank you. Thank you.
Also, it would be nice to know what colleges you guys are going now. So,
I'm going to Cal Poly Pomona as a civil engineer major.
Wow.
I'm going to Azusa Pacific University for computer science.
Yes.
I'm going to Northern Arizona University for computer science.
I will be going to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo for industrial engineering.
Wow.
I'll be going to Cal Poly Pomona as a mathematics major.
I'll be going to the University of California, Berkeley for biology.
I'll be going to Cal Poly Pomona for electrical engineering.
Yes.
I'm going to UC San Diego for mechanical engineering.
Yes.
I'm I'm going to UCLA for either mathematics or physics. I'm not sure yet.
You know, that is amazing because all of them have aspired to be engineers and scientists,
Yes,
and
yeah.
that is amazing.
Just gonna become like her.
Good job. Well done. Well done. Good job. That is awesome. Okay. Next, I would like to invite the podium one of our much loved and respected school nurses, Sherry Ma. Can you join me? I'm sure we can all remember a day or two in our school days when we needed a hurt attended to, a tummy ache, or just needed a little attention. We always knew that school nurse was the person to go, but nurses go beyond those minor aches and pains. They not only tend to boo-boos, but often attend to students with a variety of medical needs. Focusing on the health and well-being of pregnant students and Buena Vista High School is something dear to her. Nurse Ma, can you share a little about what you do for our students?
Hi. I've been pretty much part of Buena Vista High School for the past 20 years, on and off. I'm sorry. The parenting program, I am so grateful that it was brought back to the district. I love working with my students. It's such a grateful experience to actually, we had 30-some students last year. We graduated 3 juniors. 1 went off to a Cal State. We're getting them in school. We're getting them graduated. We're pushing them on to do better for themselves. They're not dropouts. They're not at home. They're dedicated themselves to come back to school, and I can't thank the district enough, Mr. Vasquez, for being so dedicated to our students, the board, Mr. Cruz, the district. Thank you so much. The program has started to excel again. We're bringing these kids back to school. We're doing something. They're not at home. We're educating them, and we're pushing them on to further themselves. We're seeing a lot of the kids, they get me on Facebook. The kid's 10 years old at Rolling Ridge. They're like, I remember you from BV and your daughter's 10. I'm like, I'm old. But it's amazing how they still remember you. They want to tell you what they've been doing, where they've gone, working the courts, walking to Staples. Mrs. Ma, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, this is what it's all about. Watching them grow and dedicate themselves to better the community. And like I said, I don't know where Mr. Vasquez is, but for being so dedicated to our program and allowing the students to come in. I know sometimes it's challenging, but thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
I still remember that day when we were in the baby's room, and this baby had having tough time breathing with a high fever, and you had called the ambulance to rescue the child's life. And I think this is what you guys do every single day, taking care of kids so that the moms and dads could study.
Right. I mean, it's a group effort. We have a great child care center. We have an awesome parenting teacher. Definitely, the program is a group effort.
Mhm.
Nothing gets done, of course, on their own. You know that. Everybody works together as a group and is there positively. The counseling, everybody has programs to really push these students to do better. And just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're done. Education is still there, and we need to make sure that they're educated because we want them to be future Chino parents that are dedicated to teaching their kids. So if we teach them, they'll teach their children, and we will see their children in this district. Because Chino people, as you know, we don't move.
Can we also invite our staff members, your fan club here, including Mr. Vasquez? I think they're all there in the back. Can you come to the podium and...
Oh, yeah.
No, you guys okay?
Invite the, yes, you can.
Mr. Vasquez? Come on, Mr. Vasquez. Come on.
No. This is our team here. We work really well together.
Mhm.
We are Miss Hammond, the parenting teacher. She's there to dedicate 6th period to getting those young ladies not only caring for their children. Mr. Vasquez is making sure they're in the right classes so they can move forward. wife, she does everything in the office.
Yes.
But we're definitely a whole team, and I'm very grateful for them. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the behalf of the district, thank you for your heart-led focus and care for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
We're now at comments from our student representative, Carlos. First, let me welcome you to your first meeting. We hope you have a great year with us. Would you like to start with any comments?
Yes, well, I'm really honored to be on this board, and I'm really excited for our district. Like we just saw right now, like this is a really amazing district we have here. So thank you very much.
Next is employee representatives. Todd Hancock, President ACT.
Well, first of all, let me just say welcome back. I guess it's official. We're all running, and if you can believe this already, we've got 4 days done and 176 more days to go. And I'm not counting, okay? So it is what it is. I'd like to also just say thanks to all the administrations at our various school sites. I saw a very strong movement this year on their teacher work days to give the teachers more time in the classroom in preparations for the first day for students to return. You need to give those teachers the time, and so I've noticed and things that we have heard that there was a lot more time this year for teachers in preparation for the school year. So I want to thank all the administrators and cabinet and the board for that opportunity. It is important. I also want to tell you that I've known Diane Murillo for a long time as well, not as long as you have, but a long time. I used to think that it was kind of sad that she was down here at the district for 7 years because she's such a fantastic teacher. She's an expert when it comes to math. And I also want to recognize the students. Being a AP teacher, and the amount of time and effort that those kids put in to study and to pass their AP exams is amazing to me. And I just want to congratulate them. Just passing alone is a great accomplishment, getting 100% in your class, mostly fives. Those students should be highly recognized as you did tonight. And I would disagree with the one student who said that Chino High School is kind of the one that we look down at. That is just not true. There are so many great things that come out of Chino High School. And when we try to compare high schools, we have to understand that each high school has their expertise that they do really well in, and they have things that they struggle in. But that's true across all the boards, whether it's Chino Hills or Ayala, Don Lugo, or even BV. You know, when we think of continuation schools, we often think of the schools that it's where all those kids you don't know what to do to go to. But that is not true in our district. Our district, our Buena Vista Continuation School is fantastic. They do a lot of great things and help a lot of students. And we should really, and I noticed in the last little while, we've really recognized, they're just excited that I'm talking. That's just it. Also, our nurses, just again, we have, I think, 16 or 17 nurses in the district. They just do a fantastic job. Think 16 nurses taking care of 29,000 students on a daily basis. That says it all right there. I did, looking at the agenda, I have a little concern mainly because of I didn't know or I don't know about it, but Board Policy 6142.92 that's dealing with mathematics and the change of mathematics. If I could get some meat and talk about that board policy, because I'm not aware of how that's going to affect or what the situation is, and I was just reading it before coming up. So if I could get some instructions and sit down and talk about it, I'd appreciate that. I also want to thank the district for inviting ACT to come and participate in the new teachers meeting and professional development. That was outstanding. They gave us about 20 minutes or so, and I'm sure with me, I probably took longer. But it was really great to see 61 of our new teachers that were in that. So I want to thank those that invited us and allowed us to be there, and it's a good, positive thing. I kind of missed this, but I want to just say about Diane Murillo really quick. It's true for all teachers. There are two components to help students be successful. That is a good quality teacher in the classroom and good students who connect with that teacher. If students, no matter where they are on the scale of GPA, if we want to put it that way, if they connect with the teacher, they're going to perform better, do more, and enjoy the class. And we saw that. They said, I'd rather stay in this period longer than go to the other class, because there was that connection with the teacher. So in the process of learning, just let you know that there are two components to that. And that is the teacher and the students and the connection that goes between that. And that's very important. And the key factor of that, in my mind, is giving the teachers more time in preparation to know their students, know what their students need, and then how they learn and what they enjoy in the classroom. And we need to give them more time. So I'm asking again for another favor, which I guess ACT president's known to do over the years. 2 years ago, the board gave a directive that one PLC per month would be given to the teachers to decide what the teachers want to do just for that one PLC. Last year, in the kindness of Mr. Joseph and the cabinet, they extended that for another year. I would like to see the board give that directive again for this year, that there will be one PLC per month that will be given to the teachers to do what they need to do. It's already done. So let me rephrase. I'd like to thank the board and the cabinet for giving the direction to give those teachers that one extra time, that PLC. It makes a world of difference. It's kind of like this, and I'll kind of close, and this is kind of corny, I suppose, but I just got a new car, and it's a plug-in and has two sets of batteries. It has one set of batteries that works with the hybrid motor, kicking back and forth when we're driving down the road. But it has another set of batteries that when I charge up, it gives me an extra 25 miles before the hybrid kicks in. I think when we give teachers time, we're allowing them to be plugged in to get that extra energy for that 25 extra miles they need to travel as a teacher. And then when they kick into the hybrid, then they can pull from that other energy and the motor to get through the struggles, the challenges, the students struggling in their class, whatever. But giving them time is that extra set of batteries to get them that extra 25 miles that they need to be successful in their classroom. And so with that, I'd say thank you very much, and I look forward to having a really great year and building relationships, connections, and having assistance in our community and our parents to let them know that their students are the most valuable part of what we do each and every day. Thank you.
Denise Oro, President CSEA.
Good evening. Before I start, I just want to say I love working for this district, and there are times when we don't agree, but I feel I'm very loyal to this district, and I really do love it, and I'm happy to be working here. Good evening. I want to say welcome back to another school year. Congratulations to our Chino High students on their accomplishments. It is great hearing success stories of our students and the great teachers that we have here in our district. It was a challenging start with our computer system not working at the last 2 days before school started. District did their best to accommodate school sites by having computers available here at the district. Employees took work home to get things done. That is fine. However, you are pulling staff away when they are needed at their sites during the busiest time of year. These employees went above and beyond the call of duty. Our clerical staff stayed for hours to get the job done. I hope the district appreciates what they accomplished during this rough start. I certainly do. On August 4th, the district had a special board meeting to discuss the bond. CSEA was not present due to attending our annual conference. I do have a question. Why is the special board meeting not online? As important as the district state this bond is, I would think it would be available for the community. I have asked the superintendent and Mr. Statura to come to CSEA's chapter meeting on October 4th to discuss the bond to our members. We look forward to having Mr. Joseph, but I have not heard from you, Mr. Statura. Hope you come, okay? I was disappointed in the superintendent's statement about the bond. He was quoted, "We are incredibly proud of our award-winning local schools and great teachers. We consistently outperform county and state averages on test scores. But if we want to maintain that excellence and retain our quality teachers, we must invest in our aging schools." Nothing against our teachers. We have great teachers, but there is something missing from this statement. This is clearly why classified employees feel less valued in this district and not appreciated. We need to attract the community as well. We want parents to want to bring their children to our district. If you staff your multi-million-dollar facilities with your existing custodial staff, these new facilities will look like what we have now within a couple of years. Maintenance and ground workers will also be needed to maintain these new facilities. Teachers do not get their classes cleaned every day as it is. They have trash emptied every day. However, mop and vacuum cannot be done every day due to the lack of staff. I'm sure teachers would love to have their rooms mopped, vacuumed, and even their sinks cleaned every day. What a concept. Our students deserve to have clean classrooms. CSEA attended our annual conference. Many asked, what do you do at conference? Delegates from all over the state of California attend. This year we had 1,400 delegates in attendance. Delegates vote on resolutions which are presented. If passed, CSEA takes these resolutions to legislation and lobby Sacramento, which could impact classified employees, education, and funding. It is a long week, days starting at 8:30 in the morning and ending sometimes at 11, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but very gratifying. Last, with the fires happening around our area, if you know of any classified employee who is affected, who lives in the high desert, please have them contact me at extension 1950. We have support and help that is available to our employees. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you, Cabinet. Thank you, Board.
Thank you. Yvette Farley-Champ.
Good evening. Welcome back. We're glad to be back. Last year at this time I stood before you and I said to you that your administrative team was ready for the challenge. We were collaborating, working hard, being the team member and contributing to CVUSD. You asked us to be leaders in supporting the goals of the district, and upon reflecting this past year, I proudly say that your administrative team truly are champions. Well, what does this truly mean? The administrators of CVUSD have demonstrated the behaviors and habits of a champion on a daily basis. It is in the manner in which they have tried to achieve their potential that defines them as champions. You see, champions try. They have shown that success is a decision, not a gift. Even when they were worried about failing, they have faced their fears and kept at it. Champions set goals. Administrators have set goals and have worked at them and have celebrated with their peers and their staff. Champions also make choices. Seeking excellence in every part of our life is a conscious decision. We choose to do our best for our school communities. Champions also have a plan. Walking through classrooms, we see our students and staff work hard with others to execute great things. We have collaborated, strategized, and produced. Champions tackle their weaknesses and their strengths. We take the feedback that is given and we work on the things we need to work on. And we develop those skills that we were already good at. Champions also lean on others. It is obvious that we have developed relationships and friendships that are positive. As administrators, we have grown to recognize that we are not an island and that we can depend on others for support. And champions stay positive. There are times when we have been disappointed and discouraged, but I would like to remind our administrators that we have the ability to take our I can't to I can. And we need to continue to believe in ourselves and all that we are. That is what makes a true champion. Muhammad Ali once said, "I am an ordinary man who worked hard to develop the talent I was given. I believed in myself, and I believe in the goodness of others." I would also publicly like to thank our classified staff because given the short time, they have clearly worked extra hard in preparing our schools for that first day. And as administrators, we truly appreciate that. So in preparing for this school year, may we face it with hope and promise. I thank you.
Thank you. Art Bennett, Chino Hills City Council.
Well, welcome back. Was there really a summer break? I'm sure that the teachers probably wonder if there was, because I'm sure that with the time that they had winding things down and then ramping things back up for the beginning of the year, that summer gets shorter and shorter. But congratulations. And I know I'll congratulate you in advance because I know you're going to have another stellar year for this entire district. It's a wonderful place for our kids to get educated at the highest level. And when we see what happened and what the Chino Hills or Chino group that was here, it's just indicative of everything that goes on within this district. A couple things have happened over the last couple weeks in Chino Hills I'd like to mention to you. We had a fantastic National Night Out. Of course, this is a night where we encourage neighborhoods to get together, and the basis is really to try and encourage neighborhood watch, because as I always tell people, neighborhood watch is really our first level of defense. You have to take care of yourself first and be prepared to do that in the case of any kind of natural disasters or of anything going on in your neighborhood. We had 24 neighborhoods this year, about 1,300 people participating. I had the good fortune of driving around with our new police chief, Darren Goodman. Fantastic man. He does a great job with our San Bernardino County Sheriff's Police Department, and we're very, very happy to have them. One of the things that we noticed when we went to one of our neighborhoods, the Lake Los Serenos Mobile Home Park, is they had blue ribbons attached to trees and units and everything else. And coincidentally, about a week before that, a neighbor of mine had mentioned to me, you know, I think it'd really be cool if we did something to show our support for our police. And, you know, what about maybe a blue light as a porch light? Well, the next day after National Night Out, I went and met with Lowe's Hardware, or Lowe's store there in South Chino Hills. And we came up with a plan, and we actually were able to buy 500 blue LED 3-watt light bulbs. And a week later, at our last concert in the park on August 10th, we gave away 500 light bulbs. They were nice enough to sell us the first 500 at their cost, so $5.98 versus $1.85. And we actually have made plans to secure additional light bulbs. We are going to try and get the price down to zero. We think it's a great partnership. We actually were featured on the news that evening, which was totally unexpected, but it's catching on. So I would challenge the entire school district and all of the cities involved to, you can go to Lowe's right now in South Chino Hills if you wish, and you can go in there, tell them you want one of the light bulbs to show support for the police department. They'll sell you the light bulb for $1.85, their cost, and plug them in and show the men in blue that we support them, because they need some love after what's going on in this nation with our police force. So it's a great thing, and we're hoping that it'll catch on and we will be the shining light that really surrounds this whole area, that it'll get incorporated. I talked to Chief Comstock. She was very much in favor of it. So it's just something to think about. But if the parents take this home, teachers take this home to your students and share it with them, it would be wonderful to see that support in the evenings for our police. We will be dark next week. Our normally scheduled council meeting will be canceled. The next council meeting will be on September 13th. So, we continue to share in all of the things that are going on in our community. Our support for the school district is, there for you. You are fantastic. You help keep our property values up. I tell you what, people want to move into our cities that are serviced by Chino Valley Unified School District because you guys have a reputation of having an excellent school system. And for that, we thank you very much. And with that, that's all I have for tonight. So continued success as you start this year. And I tell everybody, I make an announcement, the kids are back in school, be careful. And we've got, of course, a Labor Day weekend coming up. Do something nice for a neighbor when Labor Day's here. Think about someone who, we don't have to think it Memorial Day for just that period, thinking about those that fight and put their lives on the line every day for our safety. Our police, our fire, our military. Give them an extra thought. Put an extra burger on the grill for them, and at least pretend they're there with you, at least in spirit. So have a very blessed Labor Day weekend.
Thank you. Mike Krieger, Fire Board.
Nothing tonight.
Mrs. Howie. San Bernardino County Supervisor Kirk Hackman.
Thank you and welcome back. And listening to the successes that you've already had this year, I hope to hear more. We all hope to hear more at the county. I wanted to let you know about a couple of county things that are coming up in the future, in case any of your parents want to be involved or come to. Today we had a very interesting event that we held. We made appointments for people in our 4th district, which includes Chino, Chino Hills, Ontario, Montclair, and south part of Upland, to meet with representatives from Frontier, because of all the problems I'm sure all of you are experiencing. And we set up appointments with representatives, and they brought quite a large team down and met with residents from our area and talked out their problems, and everybody seemed to be very happy. So it was such a success, we're going to be doing it again. So please look for that in the future. I know the other cities also are going to start holding it too, because Frontier was very happy with having this type of event set up for them, that they could come and talk to the people. So that's a good step in the right direction. On August 27th from 11 to 2 p.m. we are having an adoption, not kids, but adoption for pets at Priceless Pets in Chino Hills. And so we're encouraging parents to come and get pets for their kids. And on November 18th, we are holding a Veterans Appreciation Day out at Westwind Community Park in Ontario. And this is a day that we're going to be bringing out departments from the county, workforce departments. We're going to bring out services. And so anybody who is a vet can come out and get some information about jobs or services that they need. There's also going to be Humvees out there, and there's going to be quite a military display. And we're encouraging vets to bring their families with them. There'll be free hot dogs for everybody. So I hope everybody will put that on their calendar. I did give the newsletter, so you'll get a newsletter, and hopefully people will read in the newsletter about these events that are coming up. So please watch the news, and thank you so much, and good luck this year.
Thank you. Right now, comments from the audience on items not on the agenda. Pat, are there any requests to speak? Speakers will be called in the order the request was received. Please listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium. Any comments on the agenda items will be accepted during consideration of that item. Once the board has commenced deliberations on a particular issue, speaker cards will not be accepted. The board is very interested in your comments, but please bear in mind that the board typically does not respond to the comments during this time on the agenda, as it is reserved specifically for public comments. Individual members may respond during board comments at the end. Ms. Fikes, would you please explain the light system?
Yes. Speakers, you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. Please begin your comments at the green light. The yellow light indicates you have 30 seconds in which to complete your comments. The red light indicates that your time is over. And before you begin your comments, please adjust the microphones as necessary so that you can be clearly heard. And audience members, please refrain from making comments while speakers are at the podium, as it's disrespectful and disruptive.
Speakers, please remember that in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, bylaws of the board meeting conduct, limit remarks to 3 minutes total for all remarks. If a topic has been covered, please limit remarks to new points. The board would like to remind you that there is an existing board policy, 1312.1, for anyone who wishes to file a complaint against a district employee. Listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium as your name is called. No speaker shall exceed the 3-minute limit. The first speaker is Pauline Course, followed by Zabia Dubois.
Good evening, President Cruz, Superintendent Joseph, who disappeared, board members, staff. I am here from League of Women Voters. Most of you see me every meeting, so you know that. As probably everyone knows, we have an election coming up in about 2.5 months. Finally, it's going to be over, right? In addition to all the candidates we have to sort out, and there are many of them, there are also 17 propositions on this ballot that we have to make up our minds about. The League of Women Voters tries to make that a little easier. We have a presentation of pros and cons on all 17 issues, and it's totally nonpartisan, as the League always is. We will make this presentation to any group of 10 or more people during the month of October. October is the only time we work this hard, I guess. So if you're interested, you can give the League a call. Their number is 909-624-9457. And your group does not have to be an educational group. It can be any group. Your knitting club, your gardening club. You know, we just want 10 or more people. I have a few flyers for anyone who's interested. You would like one? And
One in the back.
Your time's up.
They're free.
Sharon?
I'm back.
did you want one? Oh, thank you.
Sorry it disappeared on you.
You missed my whole speech.
I'll look at it on tape. Okay, I promise.
Thank you.
Zabia Dabbas.
Hi, I'm a mother of two children that attend Rhodes Elementary. I had a lot of mothers like me had an issue with the early start of school in August, which we've loved our district because they used to start at the end of August, which is really good for children. And yesterday I read an article in the 5 LA News, which says about 3 LA board members trying to push school year until after Labor Day. And the issue is the hot weather, but there's other issues for them, which says the early calendar eliminates cooler classrooms weeks in June, replacing them with the summer heat of August. That leads to greater energy costs, more wear and tear on AC units, and the frequent need to keep students inside of physical education and sport. I will add on there, it's about kids that walk home from school in this hot weather, and it also affects their lunchtime. And when they told me if it's over 100 degrees, their lunch changes. They consider it as like a heavy rainy day. So me and a lot of mothers have an issue with this. And when I saw this, I was so happy until I found out that it's in LA County. It's not San Bernardino County, but I was hoping. I didn't know what to do. I called the district today, and they told me I can come to the board meeting. So I wanted to see if parents can give their opinion on this, or what do they who can talk about it, if we have an opinion or not about starting school later in August. It's just because of this hot weather, we like it more for our kids. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon Duran.
Good evening, board members. My name is Sharon Duran. I'm here. I first want to thank specifically Mr. Joseph, Mr. Cruz. Last year, I emailed them about Walnut presenting their science projects, and all 3 of them came out to our campus and showed their support to all the students presenting to the other students in the NPR. That was so awesome. I didn't get a reply, but they all 3 of them showed up. That was great to see that. And so, I really appreciate you guys coming out and showing our school your support. Also, I wanted to introduce our new PFA Walnut president, Ms. Ada Jimenez, and another board member. Yes, that's it. So I'm also here, I don't know if you guys knew that Walnut this year celebrates 50 years. So we're really trying to reach out to the community and make it a big celebration for the 50-year anniversary. As of right now, we have a tentative date of November 4th that we will be hosting something at the campus. So I was hoping to see if any of you guys can make a note and come out and show your support. Like I said, it's not even about the school, it's a community thing, really trying to get everyone together, because 50 years, that's pretty big. Yeah. I think that's it. Did you say that?
And also, the new changes, me as a parent, I know there's pros and there's cons, but it's all for the best of our kids, I believe. And any change, I believe, is a good change. So I am honored to be here today, and I'm very happy that every year there's good things, new things, and I'm excited to see how next year to come in and see what the outcome was from this year. So yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We're now at changes and deletions. Pat, are there any changes or deletions?
The following changes are on the agenda. Item 2A1, public hearing on the change of statutory developer fees level 1 and adoption of resolution 2016-17-04 approving a change in statutory school fees imposed on new residential and commercial industrial construction pursuant to Education Code 17620 and Government Code 65995. The item is yellow sheeted to reflect corrections on page 11, the second paragraph, and page 15, section 15. Item 3E2, page 53, Agreement for Contractor Consultant Services, CIIS Contract 1617-018, correct duration of contract to end June 30th, 2017, and F 1617-003, correct name from Classing Leasing Inc. to Class Leasing Inc. Item 4C1, page 139, student attendance calendar for this 2017-18 school year. This item is pulled from the agenda.
We're now at the only action item. Pat, please announce the first item.
Item 2A1, public hearing on the change of statutory developer fees level 1 and adoption of resolution 2016-1704 approving a change in statutory school fees imposed on new residential and commercial industrial construction pursuant to Education Code 17620 and Government Code 65995.
Recommend the Board of Education conduct a public hearing on the change of statutory developer fees level 1 on residential and commercial industrial development and adopt resolution 2016-2017-04 approving a change in statutory school fees imposed on new residential and commercial industrial construction pursuant to Education Code 17620 and Government Code 65995. I now open the public hearing regarding the change of statutory developer fees level 1 on the residential and commercial industrial development at 7:51 p.m. Are there any requests to speak?
No requests.
I now close the public hearing at 7:51 p.m. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Blair, second Ms. Fikes. Any comments?
I have a question.
Mr. Nall.
Yes. So here, are we trying to raise the fee for all the developers, whether it's residential or commercial?
Yes, that's correct. The State Allocation Board, and back in February of this year, they made an adjustment, and we are just adjusting our fees now to reflect that adjustment.
So we're not doing it as a loan entity?
No, we're not.
We're just following the state statute? Okay.
That's right.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Vote passes 3-1.
Mr. Cruz, preferential.
Oh, preferential?
Aye.
Sorry. Vote passes 3-1. We are now at consent. Pat, are there any speakers on consent items?
None.
Board members, do you have any polls? Ms. Blair?
Can I just go back, Pat? I didn't write down the one that you said we were already pulling. You said we were pulling an item?
The calendar.
Oh, okay, got it. Then I'd like to pull 3C3, page 45.
Ms. Fikes?
Am I on? Doesn't sound like it to me.
3A3, page 29.
Mr. Na?
I have no polls.
And no polls as well. For the remainder of the consent items, may I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Ms. Blair, second, Mr. Na. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
4-0.
4-0. Item...
And Mr. Cruz, preferential.
Preferential.
Aye.
Aye. Item 3C3, page 45. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Blair, second, Mr. Na. Comments? Discussion.
Yes. I want to support ACT's request to seek clarification on this item, and it was in relation to the new math course. Can we provide just some insight regarding this item?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it now, just to brief him? Yeah.
I don't know what questions he has, so if we're polling it for us to bring it back, I will talk with Mr.
I would like
Hancock.
that.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I don't know what the questions are.
You got it. I just said share some insight on it. You didn't have to, but that's okay.
Well, it's just standard language from Gamut that we take from the Gamut that we brought forward. It was a revision that Gamut puts out. They put out a list of them. This was one that came forward. So we copied that.
Mimic
And
that.
actually, this is the third time. We brought it twice for informational item, and this is actually the third time it's been brought. And this is now for consent. The first time we brought it was brought by mistake where we just brought it as new language, but it wasn't. We actually had current language, and we had to go through it and reformat that and bring it forward. So it has been brought several times to the board.
It doesn't impact anything this school year, correct? I mean,
No.
do you need us to
No.
approve it now?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Ms. Fikes?
Could you tell me what gamut is?
Gamut is a California School Boards Association board policy that does all the updating for that.
So is it an acronym?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's an acronym, but I've always known it as Gamut for all the years I've worked through it.
Mrs. Fikes, if you go on CSBA's website, when they update policies even for governing board members, it'll have Gamut across the top, and it's Gamut.
Okay, thank you very much.
So now,
Mr. No?
Yeah.
Mr. No?
Yeah, and I have a comment. Since we're talking about the subject of math, and since we have the Common Core, we have still some great confusions among our parents and as well as teachers. So make sure we get our teachers involved, and then maybe then they can share more concerns with our parents as well in math.
Ms. Blair?
yes, I'd like to make a motion to pull the item.
Second.
Motion, Ms. Blair, second, Mr. Na.
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
No.
4-0.
And preferential.
Preferential.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. Next item, 3A3, page 29. May I have a motion?
So
So moved.
Mr. Na, second. Ms. Blair? Comment, question, discussion?
My question is information about the people who are being nominated, and I think, is someone going to share that with us? About the 3 people who are being nominated for the Educational Hall of Fame? I mean, who they are?
That's probably Mrs. Orozco's. I know Chad Cordero, baseball player, I think out of Don Lugo. Played for the Angels, I think. Yes. No? Oh, only for spring.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. Chad Cordero went to graduate from Don Lugo High School from the class of 2000. He went into professional baseball and came back to the community. He doesn't actually live here, but he came back to the community by giving to many different causes, including the Chino Relay for Life, help youth sporting groups. I think he also now is involved in a group that deals with infant, when a child dies when they have
SIDS.
SIDS, yes. And then Frank Elder was a coach at Chino High School for many years, and he was very influential in the community, brought a lot of recreation programs to the city of Chino. And then Kay Hallmark, she was a noon aide at Ramona Junior High School for many, many years, and was responsible for starting a noon sports program there that is still in existence at the school.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Preferential?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. We're now at information items. Are there any questions or comments? We are now at board members and superintendent communications. Ms. Blair?
And so My comments are kind of, I have a lot because I didn't know we weren't going to make board comments at the special meeting, and so I'll try to be quick. The first item is I want to thank everyone who reached out to me and congratulated me on my granddaughter. She arrived early. She was due August 4th and decided to arrive July 14th. Therefore, I missed the school board meeting. Thank you for making the announcement, Mr. Joseph. And so now I have a third reason to continue being involved regarding public education in Chino Valley Unified. So I'll be around for a while. Related to the board meetings, I wasn't aware that we weren't uploading the special study sessions or any special meetings. So my advocacy would be, when I made the pitch for all board meetings, I meant all board meetings. And so if, Mr. Joseph, we could follow up on that to find out why or how it got decided that budget study sessions and special board meetings wouldn't be uploaded, and if we could specifically upload the bond meeting.
Sure, we'll
Look
look into that.
I appreciate that. I do want to share that combo classes in our district decreased yet again. Last year we had 19. This year we have 11. And so it's a continuing work in progress, but it is significantly low to the almost 50 some that we had just 3 years ago. And so we listened to the parents and teachers, and staff is just doing an amazing job hiring teachers, getting them here into the district, all the paperwork done so that they're ready to go. 11 combos out of 33, 35 campuses is amazing in our district. They'll never go away. They won't all be gone, but it is definitely a lot better than when we were just a few years ago. Mr. Joseph, I wanted to follow up on my request to have a flyer outlining safety precautions. It seems like every school year we go through the same thing at the beginning of the school year, where parents are not respectful of school site staff who are trying to guide us into the parking lots and out of the parking lots, and people are honking at each other and cursing at each other. And I believe there were a couple of accidents in front of some of the school sites in Chino Hills. But I would like a flyer created with 3 bullet points. One would be to respect the school site staff as they are enforcing all of the laws, parking and drop-offs. But the second bullet would be to be aware of our crossing guards and proceed with caution, because sometimes our crossing guards are entering into the crosswalk and parents are still turning into the street. And then the third item would be a reminder of the school bus laws. And so maybe if we could create something, I know some of us have already had back to school night, but maybe there's another opportunity where we could share that information with parents, upload it on our website. I know that we did upload to the Facebook page, Chino Police Department's FYI regarding the bus law, but I just would like us to hand something out to parents as a reminder and in support of our staff.
Mrs. Blair, is your vision to have it on the website and to have it at back-to-school nights? Or is your vision it's something passed out in the parking lots in the morning?
No, if we could start off on the website, that would be great, because I think we've already missed the opportunity for back to school night. But maybe down the road, we could hand out flyers so that parents have it visible, because they don't all go onto the website and they're not all on our Facebook page. But that would be a great start, to at least put it on the website and the Facebook page.
I'll have Julie and Brenda take a look at it.
Okay, thank you. I have received concerns regarding the early start of the school year, and I do want to share with parents that it's not something that was just done, recently. For those that do attend our meetings or who have watched the meetings, there's a calendar committee. It includes parents, staff, administrators, teachers, and classified employees. They all get together. They submit a calendar to the board for consideration. That calendar was, there was much discussion about it. It got pulled a couple of times, resubmitted, and then approved. It wasn't something that I took lightly, but parents, any concerned parent did have an opportunity at that time to express how they felt about the calendar. And so it's kind of a done deal. There are pros and cons to it. It was intended for the best purposes, specifically at the high school level, because a lot of our students who are applying for colleges need to turn in their grades and transcripts prior to winter break. And so they were missing out on scholarship opportunities. And about the hot weather, actually, there was a parent from Walnut who thanked me that her boys were starting early because they don't have AC at home. So they were kind of feeling relieved that they were in a cool classroom. So there is always a positive to the negative, but when the calendars are brought to us, I know that I take it very seriously, and I have 2 children in the district, and neither of the boys have really complained. We just make sure they have water, wear shorts, and you know, they will make it through. But LA Unified is a 60,000 student school district, and you know, they need one more vote to be able to even consider changing their start time. But we aren't the only district that started early. So I hope that you all will consider that this was something that was planned long ago, and that there were opportunities to have voiced concerns back then. I want, again, to encourage our board, our superintendent, and all staff regarding peer counseling courses in order to promote a positive school climate for all students. At a minimum, I hope that we would consider, if we're not yet ready to move forward with a implementation of a course for peer counseling, one of our neighboring school districts offers a forum at the school sites where students and staff experience a unique conference that explores the challenges of student stereotypes, fosters student leadership, and provides an opportunity to meet new friends. Participants get the chance to expand their understanding of themselves and others. The forum is also a bonding experience in which participants can have fun with their fellow students, learn about peer issues on campus, and pick up a few life skills along the way. Students discuss their points of view on issues including stereotypes, social cliques, and bullying. At times, it may be uncomfortable and emotional, but as students speak from the heart, there is real listening and healing. By the end of the forum, a true change has taken place. So perhaps we can go that route in the hopes of improving ensuring that every student has a positive school climate. I want to acknowledge Denise's comment regarding recognizing classified staff, because as I shared with Mr. Joseph in closed session, well, prior to closed session, that there were parents that were saying, or community members that were saying that the bond really isn't necessary because as they drive by all of our school sites, they look great. They have curb appeal, they have nice paint, and of course that's come with great diligence from Mr. Stachura and his staff, the budget, but also because CSCA and its members take good care of our campuses. But that doesn't mean that the plumbing and everything else inside is in dire need of repair. So I do want to thank CSCA members and all staff, including, you know, teachers and administrators at every level for taking good care of our campuses. And that's it. I want to wish all staff, parents, and students a very successful school year.
Thank you. Mr. Na?
Yes, Mr. Joseph, I know we have a parent here, and she evidently was not involved in considering our time changes and school day changes. Could we have a staff have a contact with her and explain to her and get her input as well? I mean, we just had one parent showed up speaking, but there could be plenty of more. So I think her presence tonight was very important. So I'd like to have our staff member talk to her and share that information with her. Thank you. And also for our Walnut Elementary School 50 years of birthday. That's a big deal. I turned 50 last year, but 50 was a big deal. And I'd like to see if you would have our staff to have it promoted in a best way, maybe in our district website as well. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I went to a Chino High orientation, and it was great because everybody was involved, all the freshmen and principals and teachers, and they were talking about rules and regulations in school and what to expect. And I think that was really a great thing, even though it was very hot. Kids were well informed, and they were happy. Ayala High School teachers who were waiting on doorsteps, greeting each of the students coming in. That was an awesome, and teachers were tired, but kids were really impressed that teachers really did respect, because in return, they'll be respected, our students. So thank you, teachers at Ayala High School. Chino Hills High School, Linda Ziegler, she sent us a career readiness book. It's called Redefine the Goal. And basically, it's about having our children being ready for tomorrow's job market. And there, the author talks about being a plumber or becoming a philosopher in your college years, and what is the outcome? Of course, the author said, yeah, the plumber was way to go because he was ended up getting $100,000 a year per pay, and a philosopher, even though he was working in an air-conditioned room, in a cubicles, he'll be lucky receiving $50,000 to $60,000. But as I was reading that, in our kitchen, faucet broke, and water was leaking out so bad. My wife got my attention, so I had to get, in emergency, get some parts and replace those parts. And en route of doing that, coming from there, yeah, I was stopped by another person, wanted to talk to me, our community member, so I was a little bit delayed, but I was able to finish and replacing some valves and some seals, and I got job done. However, now my answer would be, it is good to be a philosopher, but learn some skills too. That's going to help you. Whether it's a plumbing, electric, anything. As today's man and woman, we need to learn skills that could not only help us, but help others and our neighbors. It's a good thing. Now, we had these excellent math teachers, but I went to alternate ed department, and guess what? I'm into words. I'm into learning, because they said, the day leaders stop learning, we're in trouble. Everyone has to learn every single day. And I love this quote by a CSA member, finally displayed on her desk. And it read, "True friends are difficult to find, hard to leave, and impossible to forget." This was an amazing quote. I think this one represents our school district. We are true friends. We're all co-workers, whether you're a principal, whether you're a teacher, whether you're mowing the lawn. We're a team member and true friends that are difficult to find, but we were found here. And how to leave, as Denise says, she loves her job. We don't want to leave our school district. Whoever comes here, no one wants to leave. And guess what? Impossible to forget. I still remember our ex-board members, our ex-teachers, our ex-CSA members, and our ex-principals. So what a wonderful quote. So CSA, you guys are smart. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Fikes?
I made some special efforts this week to get out to all the high schools to see for myself what was going on with scheduling and students being placed in classes. And I have to tell you, I was very positively impressed by students being in classes, and it wasn't exactly what I expected to see or what I had heard was going to be happening. So kudos to our administrators and, of course, the classified staff that helped get those schedules out and get students placed so that the first day of school isn't just a waiting around day trying to get my schedule sorted out. I think that that's all laudable. However, I would really like us to consider the issuing of schedules prior to the opening of school, maybe 2 weeks prior. I get that that's anathema to a whole lot of people, but so that if students have problems with their schedules, it could be resolved before the opening day of school. So it's not a last-minute rush to get those schedules out. I know that takes advanced planning, but I think we're up to that challenge, and I would like to see us attempt it. I promised Mr. Joseph that I would bring this forward as my concern until it finally happened, and so I still am looking for employee recognition. We received a wonderful letter regarding Mr. Statura and his staff, but where does that recognition go? It goes, I want people to feel appreciated, to feel recognized for when they do things that are above and beyond what our expectation is. Our teachers have spent days in their classrooms prior to these the opening of school this year. I know because I helped my daughter in her first teaching job how much money they spend on their classrooms, but it's a huge effort and sometimes a thankless effort. And I think it's important that we as an organization do something to recognize not just our teachers, but all of our employees for that which they bring to the school district. I also believe that when we do that, then other people aspire to do better. You know, my friend just got this recognition, and it's because she does this, this, and this. Diane Murillo just had all of her students pass that calculus test. Maybe that will inspire some of her colleagues. What are you doing in a different way because of that recognition that she received? I think it's important that we recognize our employees and the success that they have. So I'll just keep talking about it. I guess I should have apologized for my crying. I don't think most of you know that I am a big crier. It's embarrassing to me when I get very impressed by somebody, especially a teacher. I was a teacher, and it's just so heartfelt, and I wish I could not cry in public, but I do, and I've done a lot of things to try to overcome it, but including hypnosis. So if you have some hypnosis, acupuncture, I've tried it all. And they still come. The last thing I want to talk about is the calendar. There was an article in the Times this week about school starting earlier and earlier and earlier, and all the reasons why it starts earlier, the AP testing, the students being tested, and then they have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 weeks left of the school year. It seems to me that most of the arguments for starting school earlier are really based on the senior students. And I just want to say, there's an old expression, the tail that wags the dog. We have a lot of other grades that we need to think about besides the students that are seniors. And so I continue to have concerns about the calendar pushing forward. I was at those campuses this week and saw those kids, kind of, I call it noodly behavior, you know. It was really hot. And to continue to push forward or back into August is of grave concern to me. And with that, I conclude my comments and say, have you great Labor Day and a wonderful school year.
Thank you. Mr. Joseph?
You guys are tough acts to follow here. Okay, parent information forums will be held this fall and next spring dealing with drug trends, social media risk and concerns, and the provisional driver license laws. Dates are September 13th at Don Lugo High in Chino and March 22nd at Ayala High in Chino Hills. Both forums will be held from 6:30 to 8, and translation services will be provided. See the district's website for more information. A 4-week kindergarten parent academy will be offered 8:30 to 10:30, Tuesdays beginning September 6th at the district's new Parent Engagement Center on the adult school campus in Chino. For information and registration, visit the district's website. Not only are more Chino Valley Unified School District students taking advanced placement tests that allow them to receive college course credit, but their mean scores this spring are higher than the national and state average. Among CVUSD high schools, Don Lugo experienced the largest increase in the number of students taking AP classes, up by 73%. Overall, 200 more CVUSD students took AP tests this year than last. This is an 11.43% increase in the number of exams taken in the district. CVUSD also had a mean score for all AP exams of 2.97 on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. This is higher than both the California and national mean scores, which are 2.88 and 2.85 respectively. Chino Valley Unified School District 11th graders taking the SAT in March scored significantly better than similar students statewide and nationally on the standardized test that is widely used for college admission. CVUSD's participation in the SAT School Day program has resulted in 8 in 10 students voluntarily taking the SAT. This is a significant increase in the percentage of students taking the test than in the past. The district offered the SAT to all students, covered its costs, and registered the students to make it easier to participate. I just want to let the community know that we're going to have a special board meeting this upcoming Thursday night at 6 o'clock on the facilities implementation plan. So that's 6 o'clock Thursday night special board meeting coming up. With that, I'll conclude my
Thank you.
comments.
Thank you. You know, Ms. Fikes, you're exactly right. You know, this will be my 19th year at, I cannot recall somebody with perfect scores like that in AP. And 19, 5.0, which is really astonishing. So you know it goes both ways, the relationship between the teacher and the students, and it just balanced. So it is pretty amazing. And I have to say about classified, you know, without classified, the doors wouldn't open, there wouldn't be any food, there wouldn't be even safety either. So classified is a big part of the school system as well. And Mr. Nall, the book, Redefining the Goal.
Yes.
And it's 2016, copyright in 2016. Very interesting read. You know, shout out with Linda Ziegler, internship coordinator at Chino Hills High School. She's very passionate about her career readiness education, and in fact provided each board member with a copy of Redefining the Goal by Dr. Fleming. And I haven't finished it, but it's a fascinating read. She talks about this book is about the misalignment between degrees and job skills, which causes half of all graduates to be underemployed. So, I mean, it is pretty amazing. So, do you have one, Mr. Joseph? Yeah, so it's a book that everybody should have an opportunity to read. It's well done, so I encourage you. And also, definitely for Walnut Elementary, we should promote and celebrate the 50th anniversary. They are such a great people, and great job. And as well, I agree with Mr. Knott too. You should definitely speak to the lady about early start. And you know, by the way, I've been promoted. I am the head librarian. Which sometimes it astonishes some people, but eventually they accept it. But I'm looking forward to my promotion. And finally, at the start of the new school year, I want to commend all certificated and classified staff of their service to our students and providing them with a solid foundation for making it in the real world. Adjournment, 8:25.
That's all you forgot.
That's pretty amazing.